Is Leon Edwards getting anywhere near the title again, and is Jan Blachowicz past it? Before I get into that, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe as I have brand new videos every single week. So fight week is here and UFC London is this Saturday, and man, I am excited. Finally, I don't have to stay awake until the early hours of the morning just to watch a couple of fights. Wake up out of your sleep! So let's get into it. I'm going to make my picks and predictions for the main card. In the main event, we have Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. Leon did not look good in his last fight with Belal Muhammad. He looked fatigued, sluggish, and had next to no activity. It seems a big aspect of this was because during UFC 304, the UFC forced the UK fighters to perform in the early hours of the morning. A lot of fighters on that card said they were awake for well over 24 hours, and also Leon apparently had a back injury, but there are no excuses. You have to show up and perform no matter what. But it is an important factor to consider. Belal was able to shut him down with a mix of leg kicks, jabs, and the ever-present threat of the takedown. Three things Sean Brady does exceptionally well. Brady looked great in his last fight against Gilbert Burns, and he constantly looks to improve. But here's the thing.
Guys.
I think Leon is still overall the better fighter. If he can keep his back off the fence, circle out, and use his superior striking, and when that fails, punish Brady in the clinch, I think he can secure the decision win. However, we have seen Leon give up control time in fights before and just be inactive when things are not going his way. If Brady can chain his takedowns and stifle Leon's striking, Brady could take the win, but I am leaning towards Leon. In the co-main event, we have Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. For me, this matchup comes down to experience versus explosiveness. Ulberg's kickboxing is absolutely lethal, and let's not sugarcoat it, Jan is old as f now and hasn't fought in almost 2 years. The question is, does he still have the durability to deal with Ulberg's physicality? I think so. Let's not forget, Jan has been fighting killers for years now in 5-round wars, whereas this is just a 3-round fight against a guy who, at least in comparison, is experienced at this high level. I expect Jan to lean on his clinch work and grappling to wear Ulberg down. If he can avoid getting caught early and use his experience, I can see him grinding out a decision win. Then we move on to Gunnar Nelson versus Kevin Holland. Gunnar Nelson is criminally underrated. He's got slick submissions, solid grappling, and has that wide karate stance striking. Kevin Holland is one of the most frustrating fighters on the roster. He fights too often and never seems properly prepared. Gunnar is well-rounded, too disciplined, and will take advantage of Holland if he doesn't come prepared. I see Gunnar getting the takedown fairly early and finishing with a submission. Then we move on to Molly McCann. Molly McCann has become a fan favourite, but in reality she's been struggling. She's lost 3 of her last 5 fights and hasn't looked great against tougher competition. She was supposed to fight Estela Nunes, who was on a losing streak, which would have basically been a safe matchup for her and a gimme fight. Instead, she's now facing Alexia Thainara, who's making her UFC debut and having an impressive victory on Dana White's Contender Series. She's on a 9-fight winning streak and has a lot of submissions under her belt. Alexia is a submission specialist, and while Molly has improved on the ground a lot, I don't think it's enough. If this fight hits the mat, I see Alexia locking up a submission and getting the win. Up next, we have Jordan Vucenic versus Chris Duncan. Both are hungry and ready to prove themselves, and if I'm honest, I want both guys to win. I'm disappointed the UFC has put this fight together because I'm a big fan of both guys, but I expect it to be a cracker. But gun to my head, I'm picking Vucenic. I think he'll attack the lead leg early, try to slow Duncan down, and then look for the takedown to set up a submission win. Opening up the main card, we have Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charriere. Nathaniel Wood is slowly becoming one of of my favourite fighters in this division. His striking is slick, his grappling is solid, he's got an excellent fight IQ and a great team around him. And on the other side, Charriere is an absolute knockout machine. If he lands clean, it could be lights out. The key here is Wood's ability to manage distance. If he can keep Charriere on the end of his jab and work some slick combos, he should be able to control this fight. Wood's only been stopped once in the UFC, and even then he was still conscious and trying to get up. I don't think Charriere will be able to find a clean shot, so I'm picking Nathaniel Wood by decision. Those are my picks for UFC London, but what are your predictions? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. If you can like and subscribe, it really does help the channel out.